Do you know that moment where you find yourself in the dream that you were once imagining? It's such a surreal feeling to have once imagined the scene, the occurrence, that moment. And then at some point, usually when you've forgotten about it or you least expect it, there it is. And it's almost like a deja vu kind of feeling, like, wow, it's like I've been here before, and I have in my mind. But more lately, I've been playing with this. I've been playing with intentionality and what Abraham Hicks calls segment intending. It's this moment of tuning in, of mental preparation, sort of setting the stage. And it can be as simple as when you know you're going to visit your family, or when you're going to jump on a call with a friend, or enter into a business meeting. It can even be, going to the grocery store, or even just going out for a walk. I'm noticing more and more this subtle power to almost prime my experience. Not that I necessarily know exactly what's going to happen, or that it happens exactly as I envision it, but it's more so the quality of the intention, like energetically how it feels. I mean, this has been documented in books like Think and Grow Rich, and a lot of the Neville Goddard work, if you're familiar with Neville. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Applying that idea on sort of micro levels, like moment to moment things, where before entering into that experience or into that space or into that relationship or into that whatever that moment is, to be entering it present and available, and even in a way expecting miracles, expecting magic, not necessarily expecting anything in particular to happen, but sort of expecting a quality of experience, which is then just the reflection of my state of being. And I think that's the really powerful part to this, creating that energetic field, which is then the basis for the experience. And it's remarkable how other people and the environment and all sorts of different things in your surroundings just respond to you. And sometimes I don't even necessarily need to say anything or do anything. It's on a deeper level, shifting my train of thought when I'm around somebody or in a group, or dropping into more relaxation. These are both subtle examples, but I've experienced this before, where one shift internally and everything changes. And it's through this practice that I've realized just how often I'm doing too much. I'm just doing too much. Because even though there is some activity with this kind of practice, it's not really a doing, is it? It's more of a feeling and a thinking. And it streamlines any sort of doing or activity or action. And then so much of it is simplified. It's as if it outlines a path of least resistance. That's what I'm playing with right now. That's what I'm desiring more of right now, is greater depths of the subtlety of that intricate and intimate relationship with this moment. And just how subtly things will shift as a reflection of my own state of being, my own energy, my own thoughts, my own feeling, my own sentiment, my own intention. Playing with reality on that level, it's like a new muscle. The mind really doesn't know the difference between an actual event and a mental visualization. And that's why I think this is so powerful on this level. Once we've imagined something, once we've visualized something to the point where we've felt it as a reality, where we've felt ourselves in it, not as some kind of fuzzy, hazy dream, but really as a crystal clear reality, no different than this. It's such an inherent and natural ability that we all have. I mean, when we were children, we were so imaginative, so creative. This is a faculty that is inherent in our being that we more or less abandon, but it's always there. And to rebuild that muscle and to play with that faculty, what if through this kind of practice, we could all experience more miracles throughout the day? And as Neville Goddard says, using this practice on behalf of somebody else to imagine something beautiful or something wonderful for them, and even asking ourselves, what do I truly want? What would I love to experience in this interaction? How would I truly love this meeting to go? What would be an amazing outcome for everyone involved? What do I want this moment or this experience to feel like? These sorts of questions are such powerful primers, because how often do we ask ourselves what we really want? And I find that questions are so powerful, asking the questions that would prime that moment to be all that it can be, all that it wants to be. And then that's what aligns me to what's needed, in terms of action, in terms of line of questioning, in terms of contribution in whatever form, that will then bring that experience out of this moment. It will bring out the best in the other person. It will draw out the information and all the relevant things that want to be explored or discussed. It will attract the right kinds of people or thoughts. It's this interconnected field of intelligence, which is co-creating and contributing to the moment in all the different ways that it can. So even in those moments of waking up to that dream that you're living, that you were once imagining, there's this subtler realization in that moment that everything is just so connected. Everything is one thing, one field that's interacting with itself, and it's all intelligently, lovingly being this moment into existence. And through an intimate relationship to that, an interaction with that, this can be pure magic.